Hello everyone, and welcome back to CCN Gaming. My name is Jared, aka Cornfed Cracker 93, and today we are doing another drive along, kind of like channel chat. I do have the kid with me right now, so I'm paying extra attention to the driving and less attention to actually looking at the camera. But just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's going on with the new release, early footage of WWE 2K19. I just got off of a night shift and I've got a little bit of sleep, but not a lot, so I'm kind of sleepy on top of everything else. So basically, a lot of people are saying about this new footage and this new universe mode and the game in general. They're saying that it's moving back towards the arcadey feel, and I see a lot of people saying the same thing about WWE games, that it's moving back to when it was fun. Well, I don't agree with that. I loved the last few games. I loved the simulation aspect of it. I loved the balance of the match. For those of you that haven't seen the WrestleMania that we just did to cap off Season 3 and the Undertaker-Roman Reigns match, that's what I love about the game. That's what I have always loved about the game, is the aspect of, balancing that match out, making the match, something like you would watch on TV, and that match came out, top-notch. That's one of the best matches that I've had in a long time on that game. And I was actually able to beat The Undertaker with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And let me tell you, it was a challenge, because he had me a couple of times where I thought, it's all over. I gave it my all. It's better than what I did with Sting, a couple of years ago at WrestleMania against The Undertaker. Literally, the match was only 5 minutes long. Undertaker made me tap out. That's how bad it was. Roman Reigns, I knew his moveset very well. I knew, how to make the match really good with him. So that's a lot of the reason why Roman Reigns was picked for that rivalry this year. There's only one other star that I'm really good at using on the game that I think we might try next time. So we'll have to cross that bridge when it comes. So yeah, a lot of people saying the same thing, that it's getting back to when it was fun. It hasn't been fun. It is fun. I never had the good, balanced game in the arcadey games. 2K14 was... I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying that I never could go up against a CPU and have as much fun as I have with the simulation-based WWE games that we've had since. I can go up against the computer player and I can make the match, pretty awesome. And I love the elements that they've added to help with these type of situations. For me, I would love to have a Goran Perkins situation, two people handling a controller. I just don't have that. So I have to do it the way that I know how, and that's with the computer. And adding stuff like being able to make your opponent kick out in different ways using the D-pad makes the game so much better, because I can make heightened moments myself with my opponent kicking out of something that I've hit on him. Excuse me, sorry, I had hiccups. So that being said, basically what I have been doing is I will go up against, I will be the person in the match sometimes that I don't want to win. That way I can succumb to the pin when I want to try to make the game and the match, the best that I can. But for the most part, they've added so many elements to be able to heighten that match yourself against a CPU that, I enjoy it. I enjoy it, tenfold. And they're adding even more. I can't think of right off the top of my head, but there was something else that they added that I was like, oh, okay. Well, that'll add to people like me that are creators that make the match based on, trying to make their own drama inside the match. And, oh, yes. I know what it was now. So it looks like they've added, I watched, some gameplay where you can switch which opponent you're controlling. So for what I do, that is like the ultimate right now. Being able to switch to the other opponent mid-match if I want to, and fight as the opposite person, that is going to make my content 10 times better. And I'm going to try this year to get rid of the HUD. To get rid of the HUD completely and, work on the game that way. The tough part is I don't know when I have my signatures or finishers to balance the game really well. And I'm afraid that will lead to more like pausing. You guys don't see the pauses that often because I really am good about trimming them out so you guys don't see them. Sometimes you might see a tiny blip in the video, but that's pretty much it. And so being able to switch opponents like that mid-match, that's going to make it awesome. They've also added the title plates, the side plates. It looks like they automatically change. It looks like when somebody picks up the win, it automatically changes the side plates to what that person will hold the next time they come down to the arena, which is awesome too. I haven't done the side plates. The problem being is that if you do side plates on the belt is not, it's not the initial belt. It's not the real belt. It's a custom belt at that point. You have to change different, it's just more work. It's better to keep it so nobody has custom plates and the belt is the legitimate WWE Championship or Universal Championship or whatever. I like that. But being able to assign the different plates so it automatically switches throughout the game, I think is awesome. I think it's a cool thing that they've added. And it is small things like that, like watching Delzinski and what he has talked about the game. It's small little changes like that make the game so much better, not just for, people playing the game and trying to have fun with it, but for creators, that is such a big thing. Like, the less work that we have to do behind the scenes that's not bringing you guys content, the better off that we are. Like, I know Delzinski's way of recording is tenfold the work that I do. Like, he records all the footage, he gets all the match stuff, not to mention he has his brother that plays with him to try to get some of these match moments, which is spectacular, by the way. I will never be able to compete with that kind of matchup because he literally plans out and choreographs every moment of the matchup. At least that's how it looks to me. And to have somebody being able to play with you like that to get those moments, that's pretty cool. But like Delzinski was saying about this whole thing is that, when he records it all out, choreographs the entire match, records it, puts it all together, edits all the footage, and puts it into these full matches. But then he has to go back and do the commentary on top of that. So not only is the video an hour long for what you're seeing for footage, but you got to take into account that after he's already edited that for the amount of time, and what you're seeing for footage isn't necessarily all that was recorded. He's cut thousands of things out of that video. And then he's turning around and commentating on top of that what he's already played for the amount of time. So he's got probably 5 hours into one video worth of footage. That's tough. Between the recording, the editing, the commentary on top of it, it's just, he's got time into those videos. I record my commentary live, and sometimes that can cause for problems. I have to make sure that everything is completely quiet. Nobody interrupts me in recording, because one little interruption and I've just lost the whole match, or I've lost the whole sequence that I was trying to do. So I think that what he does is just phenomenal. He has the time. He doesn't put videos out as often as I do, but usually they're a little better quality. I'll admit it, they're better quality. I can't put out any better than what I'm doing right now. Like, this is what my allowed time has allowed me to put out. And I think that it's good. I think that it's, good content. I think that it's entertaining, and I think that it serves its purpose. But yeah, he just does a lot more work with it, and just these little things, the highlight reel recently in recent years, the automatic changing of the side plates on the title belts, being able to switch opponents mid-match for me is going to be pretty awesome, as long as they allow us to do it in universe mode. My career, I want to talk about that a little bit too, because my career, believe it or not, actually disappoints me a little bit this year. And what I mean by that is, I mean the story that is inside my career, I absolutely enjoy. I enjoy that concept. I enjoy the big stories. That's what we used to have in WWE games. I enjoy the voice acting in all of it. Now, I can see a problem here. Everybody does a My Career mode. Everyone. Everybody that plays a WWE game for YouTube, they do a My Career mode. That being said, why should I do a My Career mode? Obviously, you're going to see my character, but you're going to see my character doing the same thing that everybody else does. And I'm sorry, when it comes to My Career mode, people are going to watch Chris Danker. They're going to watch Tony Pizza Guy. They're going to watch Pulse. They're going to watch all of these guys before they're going to watch me. Now, what made My Career mode great before was that my story could be significantly different than anybody else's. They're legitimately watching my character's story go through my career, not watching the same career over and over. I just got to my house. So they're watching a unique story. Now, if the story's all the same all across the board, they're watching everybody play the same thing. It's not going to be as entertaining. Now, last year they kind of did a mixture of like a story inside my career that broke away, where you could continue in the WWE. It just wasn't maybe a set story, but you could go for the titles, you could do that. It made the story more unique. So even though you had to get through the initial like first part of the story in My Career mode, everything else was unique after that. So I think it kind of fit the bill. This year, I'm not sure. It doesn't sound like they're doing that. It doesn't sound like you're doing the main story and then jumping off and you can go for whatever championship and continue a self-made story after that. It sounds like 12 hours of My Career mode and done. And then you're making another character and doing it all over again, which, to me, nobody's going to be as entertained. Nobody's going to be as into it watching the same thing from everybody on YouTube and the same thing from multiple characters. It just doesn't seem like it's got the longevity that, I was hoping for. I know that people for years have been asking more My Career, more from My Career, voice acting, more story, more this, more that. I get it, I do, but people nowadays are playing the game for how they can show other people what's in the game. People nowadays are playing the game for YouTube. They're playing the game for uniqueness, and you don't get the uniqueness with this kind of story. Like, you're going to see Pulse playing the same story as Chris Danker, only with a different character. That's not entertaining for me. I'm not going to bother watching both of them. I'll pick the best one, probably Chris Danker with Chris Danger, and watch his story. And, even that, I'm not going to want to play my own because I'm going to know what's going to happen. Why would I want to play my own? So it's tough. I get it. I'm not saying that I completely hate the concept, but the uniqueness is going to be missed, definitely, in this game. And that's really what I wanted to point out. So, I'm not sure what the settings are going to be like. Now, what I would have suggested is, if they wanted an arcadey game like we were talking about in the beginning of this video, have the settings adjustable, like slowing down animations a little bit. Have preset modes, like, okay, this is simulation mode, this is arcade mode. Make it, adjustable for whatever the player is wanting to get out of the game. I get it, the arcadey game is better when it comes to sitting down and playing with your friends with multiple controls and getting in there and just making funny shit, making funny matches. I get what people are craving there. I've been there before. My brother and I used to make our own guy. Used to put the DX theme on them, send them into the ring, do all kinds of jumping around, diving off of things, and, laughing the whole time, being as loud as we possibly could while we were playing the game. I get that. I get the arcadey feel that people are after. But for me, I want the simulation feel where I can jump in and make the match what you would watch on TV. And I know that Delzinski is kind of the same way. He wants, the simulation-based game. So they should have multiple settings, like this is simulation speed, this is arcade speed. Slow down the animation, slow down the, get up time, stuff like that. There is one more thing that I wanted to talk about before the end of this video, and that's the steel cage matches. Sorry, my focus is there we go. Steel cage matches. So they've added a few things to steel cage matches, which I'm very intrigued. If you didn't notice, I will point out right now, we have never had a steel cage match, to my knowledge, on Universe mode. And there's a reason. Because I play against a CPU. And I can't simulate a match with a CPU character where I'm getting my butt handed to me for half of it, because as soon as I'm weakened down enough where I stay down for X amount of time, the CPU has plenty of time to climb out of the cage, match over, 5 minutes into the match. This, however, once I get the game, I want to play a lot of steel cage matches, see how the game balancing goes, see how they've matched things out. The arcade feeling that they've added back into the game might actually pay into the favor of the steel cage match, where people are getting up quicker, making it possible to do steel cage matches on Universe mode. And that would be awesome. I'm hoping that the different things that they've added into the game might help that. Because before, you could not play a steel cage match against a CPU and have the match like a simulated type matchup. You just couldn't do it. The game balancing would not allow that. So I wanted to have this discussion about some of this footage, and I understand there's no WWE 2K19 footage on this video. I'm not playing any from anybody else. This is just my discussions on it. Everybody is showing so much footage. There's no sense in me going out and getting some other YouTubers' footage and showing it on mine. Go out and support these guys, watch their videos. I just wanted to give kind of my feedback on what I've seen. If you guys have any questions or want me to address anything else of the footage that we've seen, leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe. If you haven't watched my previous Universe mode, go back and watch this Season 3. We just wrapped it up for WrestleMania. Started the new TakeOver NXT side, I don't want to say side series because I did one of those. But an NXT brand we started on the end of Season 3 will continue into Season 4. So if you guys haven't watched it, go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. So thank you guys so much for watching this today, this drive along, this channel chat, and we will see you guys next time.